Hi, it is Tuesday again. So I hope you guys had a great weekend. For those of you who don't know, I'm LaShonda Herring. I am the founder of the H Zone, and I help people create their joy and not another job. So for all of you entrepreneurs out there, um, I believe it's important that we create something we absolutely love because most of us have worked a long time and we didn't like it and it didn't suit us. So we have to be really conscious and careful when we're building our business that we create our joy and not another job. So today I want to talk about you have what it takes. And hopefully I won't get too preachy, but this is something really near and dear to my heart um, because a lot of people, I don't know if you, whatever your situation is or whatever, but most people in their life have been told that they're not enough, that they're not good enough, that they're not smart enough, or they're too. You're too this, you're too big, you're too fat, you're too whatever, right? We've always been told that we don't measure up, that we don't have what it takes. And I'm here to tell you that you do, especially if you have a dream, especially if you have something on your heart that you really want to do. And let me say this, I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not saying that the path is so smooth and every door is going to open when you want it to open on time. I wish, right? It doesn't happen that way. But that still doesn't mean that you don't have what it takes. It still doesn't mean that you're not supposed to do what's in your heart. Sometimes there's things that we have to learn, you know. And I'm saying this for you, but I'm also saying this for me. I always feel like when I'm telling you guys something or saying something to you guys, it's a reminder for myself as well, because sometimes we feel like, oh, I messed up, or oh, I got something wrong, when really what we needed to learn was a lesson. And I'm telling you, it doesn't feel so good, those lessons at times. It feels like they beat up on us, right? We feel like sometimes we're beat down and that we just can't take anymore at times. And I know right now, the noise out in this world is, I call it ridiculous. Okay. Yes, we have an election, but it doesn't have to be as stupid as it is. Yes, we have race issues, we've had them forever in this world, let alone this country. Um, and then we have this pandemic. And I'm not saying any of those three issues aren't important to people, aren't affecting people, aren't hurting people. They are. But we have to find a way to survive and to thrive, even in the midst of this storm. Oof. In the midst of the storm, we have to find our power. We have to figure out, what did we come here to do? What's our purpose? Because the noise is going to be there. Let me be really clear. The noise sometimes settles down and then it gets louder, right? It's going to be there throughout your life. But what you want, my guess is, you want a life that you love. You want satisfaction in your life. You want joy. You want happiness, right? So to do that, the one constant thing in our life is us, is who we are, what we bring to the table, what I call our sacred gifts and talents, our superpowers. We have to find out what they are. And as we grow and we get old, our superpowers change. We get better at certain things. So our strength in certain areas should get better too. I don't care what society says. We do get better as we get older. We have to find a way. You do have what it takes. I don't care what the noise is saying around you. I don't even care what your situation looks like. And I know people might be looking like, LaShonda, you crazy, or just click this off. But the reality of it is, there's opportunities. I don't know specifically what your opportunities are. You know, I'm not God, so I have no idea. But I know there are always opportunities. We have to be open to see them. Because if you tell yourself there's no opportunity, then that's what you're going to get. When you ask the divine, when you ask God, the universe, Okay, what's out there for me? What can make this easier for me? Then it's going to come. And sometimes we have to be conscious enough not to block what comes because we always think, oh, we know how it's supposed to come or how we want it to come, but that's not necessarily the right way for us. It's not always the best way for us. So here's the deal, guys. Spend some time with yourself when you get an opportunity and really look at your amazingness, and most of us weren't trained to do this. You went to school 12 years at least, right? You weren't trained to do this. You were trained to be like everyone else. You were trained to sit like everyone else. You were trained to follow everyone else. You were trained to learn the same things as everybody else. Nothing in there said that you were unique and special. Nothing in all of your education really said that. When you got to college, maybe you got to pick a major, but there were thousands and millions of other people that picked that same major. Still, again, nothing to help you figure out what are the special things that I bring to this world that I can bring to the table. And for those of you who are going into entrepreneurship or who are entrepreneurs, that's where they struggle. That's where we struggle the most because that's where we lack the most training. How do you make yourself stand out in your field? Because there's probably thousands, if not millions of people who do what you do. But how do you stand out? How do you feel the confidence inside to say that, first of all, I am enough? Yes, I can do this. And how do I stand out from the thousands of other people? Why should they pick me? Right? That's unfortunate. So if you're feeling that way, you're not alone. And there's nothing wrong with you because we weren't trained. That's the key. That's what I want to let you know. If you don't get anything out of this, get that you weren't trained, so you're not lacking. You're not lacking at all. It's not that you're just not good enough or, oh, I don't have the confidence as that other person or whatever. You just weren't trained it. And it's not to your fault. Yep, exactly. You have to know your niche. Absolutely. And you have to know that you're good at your niche. And we'll get to that a little bit later as we keep going on with this. But yeah, you've got to know your niche. You've got to explore. You've got to spend some time with yourself. You've got to figure out what are your best qualities. What makes you different than that other person? Because you do have something special. You really do. We are all unique. I don't care what experiences we have. We could even experience something the same, but our interpretation and our perception of it is going to be different. And how we use that experience is going to be different. So go spend some time with yourself. Look at yourself and say, where do I stand out? How can I stand out in this field of business, being this entrepreneur? What makes me unique and special? Because it's there. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And the confidence is going to come when you start to see that you're a bit different and you start to realize the things that you do super well that come easy for you. Because sometimes we forget about them and we don't think they're a big deal because they're easy for us, right? But it's not easy for everybody else. We forget that because it's easy for us, that doesn't mean it's easy for the next person. And we don't realize that that's our strength. We just don't realize that that is our strength. And it doesn't even have to be in the field that you're in, it could be something you do outside of that. But because you have that skill, it enhances what you do in your business. Spend more time on us, on who you are. We spend so much time with everybody else and watching other shows, this reality TV stuff, watching somebody else live their life and thinking that they're special or they're crazy, depending on what show you're watching. Spend time with you. Spend time with you because that's the person that's there for your whole life anyway. Get to know that person. Get to know where you can talk about your strengths. If somebody asked you, would you be able to say? And I'm not talking about the degrees that you have, like the alphabet behind your name. Yeah, TV is a distraction. You're absolutely right. It totally, because when you're watching TV, you're not living your life. And sometimes we use TV as an escape, and I am guilty of that too, because sometimes you do need the break. But if it stops you from your dream, if it stops you from moving forward, then it's a problem. Yeah, it is. It is absolutely. So you really need to spend some time with yourself and realize, how do I describe myself to other people? What do I say about me? Am I able to really describe me? Am I able to say sort of the unique, quirky things about me that make me unique? Those of you guys are watching me now on Facebook and you see my new Facebook cover has all these characters on it. That wasn't by accident. Those are characters that I absolutely love. Those are characters that have had an impact in my life, the storyline. I absolutely, I'm a Star Wars geek. I love sci-fi, Harry Potter. I've read all the books probably a number of times, and I'm an old school superheroes person. So you're going to see Hulk on there. I loved Hulk as a kid, and I like being angry sometimes because it's a way for me to release. When I say those things, that's that's important. That makes me who I am. Those are pieces that impact me. If you've ever taken any of my trainings or my classes, you'll know that I'll probably quote Yoda at some point in all of my programs. And that's not even like in my script. It just is a part of me. Um, so that's something that's kind of quirky and unique about me. And that's something that I realize and I know. And sometimes let me say this caveat too is that we have things about ourselves and sometimes we're afraid to share them because we're afraid of the judgment, right? Because we want, especially in business, you want customers to come to you. You sometimes are afraid of, what part do I show, what part don't I show? And we'll get into that too because that's a whole segment about that. But if you guys have questions, seriously, about business, about how do you be authentic, how do you have more confidence, how do you show up with more confidence, um, I shared with you guys last week, but I'm doing a study hall, what I call study hall. Um, and it's a free session basically with me. And what I do is a mini training, and I mean mini. It's probably like 10, 15 minutes of training. And the rest of it is just Q&A. It's just an answer and question and answer time where you can bring any single business question you have to the table and we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to help you with resources, give you answers. If you need coaching on the spot, I'm doing that as well. So I'm doing this once a month for any entrepreneur, whether you've just started, whether you've been in the game for a while, whether you've got questions, maybe it's a title that you're working on for a new project or a headline for a flyer, whatever that is. You can bring those to the table and we're more than happy to address it in the study hall. So if you're interested, later on, I will leave the link below for the study hall. But also you can say, hey, LaShonda, I'm interested, and I'll just send you the link. There's no sign up requirements. Like I said, this is a free thing that I'm doing to help out entrepreneurs to keep them moving, to keep, even though the craziness is going on, I don't want you guys to stop. I don't want you to give up on your dream because you do have what it takes to do it. That dream was given to you. We talked about that hero's journey, right? That's that calling. That's that thing that's calling you. It's calling you to be that hero, whatever that is. And so I want to be there and help support you to help make that happen so that you guys aren't stuck or feeling in the midst of the chaos that comes up and, keeps coming up, that you have something in your life that you're happy about, that you're moving in a direction of your dreams, that you're not just surviving. We weren't put here to survive. The divine God, the universe, didn't just put us here to survive. We came to thrive and create and make amazing things happen for ourselves and for other people. So I don't care what the noise tells you, that is what you came to do. And we each do it in our unique way. You definitely have what it takes. There's no question. And I know sometimes it wavers because it wavers for me. All entrepreneurs go through this at different times. I don't care how much money they're making. They will all, if they're honest and authentic, will tell you that they've wavered and they've questioned it. So if you're out there and you're struggling and you're questioning it, it's okay. Just get some guidance, get some support. Come to the study hall if you're so inclined, but definitely don't stay stuck. You do have what it takes. You can do it. All right, guys, I will be back on Thursday. Enjoy your day, enjoy your week, and join us on the study hall. I'd love to see you. Bye for now.